You know, some of you people make my brain hurt. Crop insurance does not cover the crop destruction like that, especially when it comes to a developer, because it's not a natural act. So, plus then too, because my buddy runs enough acres, that's 74 acres of total corn between the three properties. Um, that fell into, because he had 85% revenue coverage, it fell in that 15% of allowable loss. So, all the other corn that he had, he still was over his guaranteed yield production. So he got nothing for it. So it's not exactly works that way. Once again, the farm system is very, very broken. It's not like car insurance or your homeowner's insurance. It's not even close. It is a very rigged system. And that's also partially why the USDA tax dollars, or USDA funded from tax paying, pays part of the premium for these crop insurance programs. Because it's government run and not exactly all that perfect, and doesn't really protect the loss as much as you'd think. And unfortunately, like a lot of guys that are farming, they're paying way too much land rent on rented land and buying farms just flat out for making payments way above the profit margin that's really left. You know, because they don't factor in them years that, 15% loss of income. Are you still going to make the payments? No, they're banked on that they get at least 98% or 120% of the projected revenue. So, and then that's how farms get into trouble. And a lot of guys, they did this shit in the 80s, they failed. A lot of the guys that survived it, or it's their parents that survived the 80s, they haven't learned that lesson. And really, for the rockiness of the farm economy in the last 20 years, you'd think some of these guys would have learned. But no. But also, like in Minnesota here, we got the University of Minnesota that pays a guy to study land rent, and then go around and pay him again to run around and hold all these meetings with landowners that most of the time is at harvest time, when no farmer can do anything to stand up for himself, and that he's got to provide for his family. And dictate that, these landowners need to get 3% of the property's value on top of taxes and insurance costs, every year. Well, trying to get that out of land rent, and then plus whatever other expenses of living expenses that the landowner has, isn't feasible. Because now it becomes 2, 3, 5 families, that are not related, trying to be supported off of a farmer. The math don't math here, guys, and nobody's really quite understanding that. So, very broken system. So, a lot of people forget that, if you own farmland and you're not farming it yourself, you probably got a job in town, or a city job. And that's what should be paying your bills. And anybody that's in the real estate market, you really don't make money while you own the land. You're lucky to cover the bills. It's when you sell it, that's when you should get your interest back out of it. Your capital gain. But a lot of people have forgotten that, and they're taking the greedy route. So that's what's very, very broken in the system.